If you've ever played the board game Grape Escape.
No, I have not.
No, I don't know what that is.
They have molds where instead of game pieces, you use clay. You like have molds to make them into little grape guys with feet and faces. And if you land on the wrong spot and somebody rolls the crank symbol, they turn the crank, which gets all the traps going. And it's the boot that smushes, and it's scissors that cut in half.
Oh, I
This
know
just
what you're
sounds like
talking
a
about.
worse mousetrap.
I would argue possibly a better mousetrap.
No. Have you played Mousetrap?
Both. I was a huge fan of both. I used to take apart the mousetrap and build my own traps.
You're lying.
No, why would I lie about that? 100%.
I don't believe
I'll
you.
call my dad right now.
Sounds like an embarrassing thing to make up.
Right
so.
now.
I don't believe you.
It's pretty embarrassing when you make it up or it's true,
Well,
to be
it's
honest with
mousetrap.
you. So why would I even want to associate myself with something like that? I did. You put them in different orders. There's a guy, remember the diving guy? You probably don't even remember the diving guy.
No, I really don't.
Yeah, he jumped off and
Yeah.
then he landed in the
He was green.
bowl.
So you can go f*** yourself, all right? Merry Christmas.
All right, welcome to We Won't Finish This Podcast.
Hello.
This is a writer's room podcast where we pitch movies to each other that we'll never make.
Yeah.
Spaceman.
I'm Zeebs.
I'm Savage.
All right, up tonight we got Savage, and it's the holiday special here. That's why we're all, decked out in holiday cheer. So
Kind of.
Yeah, for the most part. Why don't you tell us what you got for us tonight?
Well, summary of our story tonight is it's a Christmas story of a family in need, and they and Santa Claus are helped by an unlikely group of misfits.
Okay, so poor, unfortunate, or poor and unfortunate?
Are you asking, or you're saying?
No, I'm asking. He's a family in need.
We're gonna
like-
have to find out here.
Okay. All
In
right.
need of presents or much more?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
So the name of the family is the Jolly family. The Jolly family love Christmas.
Okay, it's a little on the nose, but all right.
Well, of course they would love
It's
it.
their favorite holiday, and it's the happiest time of year. So with the opening scene would be a montage of the smiling Jolly family of four.
Appearing jolly.
Yeah.
Very
Basically.
jolly, especially this time of year.
Okay.
Okay.
Long day celebrating Christmas festive fun. They had a family portrait photo session at a department store. Then they went sledding. They picked out a Christmas tree.
It's a great day.
Went
Yeah.
door to door caroling in their neighborhood, spreading Christmas cheer.
I could go
As-
without that.
Well, this is a hell of a montage, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's great.
Yeah,
for
they're
the
packing
shot,
a
but-
lot into one
yeah.
day here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't hate on what just happened here.
Yeah.
that'd be the worst.
Festive music in the background, the footage of the caroling just ties it all together with the sounds. It's come on.
Yeah, can you imagine us showing up in your doorstep and singing? Like, we'd get the police called.
Do you want to try it tonight?
No, I don't.
I don't know. I think it'll even go well.
No, it would be terrible.
Honey, turn the lights off. Act like we're not home.
Exactly.
This could get dangerous.
Yeah, no thanks.
All right.
All right.
So when they finally get back home, mom and kids go inside to warm up. Dad is hard at work setting up all the new outdoor Christmas decorations. So come on back outside, everyone. I have a surprise to show you, Dad says.
Having a hard time not picturing Chevy Chase.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know. The same thing.
It's real hard.
Yeah, I know. I'm picturing that right now, too. I mean, just like,
There's probably going to be a lot of kind of cliche stuff.
I'm going to try my best.
it's like, hey, everybody come out here. They walk out. You just like gives them the finger. It's like, all right, go back in.
So the two young boys and mom hurry outside to see the big reveal. They marvel at how awesome the house looks, all lit up with Christmas joy. And Dad says, surprise, and he points up at the latest new decoration. It's a giant kite that looks like a life-size Santa flying in his sleigh led by 8 reindeer, soaring majestically above their house.
That's
Pretty legit.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's made their home the spectacle of the whole neighborhood.
Yeah, I'd probably be the neighbor that just complain about it. To be honest. No, I'm just kidding.
Gonna get caught in a power line.
I thought that sounded really cool, though. Just
No,
like,
that's pretty-
just
that's pretty
flying
good.
above your house.
If you could pull it off, yeah.
So the kids are like, "Whoa!"
You said they're poor. Like,
I did not. I said they're gonna be.
Said they're in need.
oh
need.
yeah, I said
They're
they
gonna
were
be in
poor.
need.
That's
Apparently
right.
not
I
of
did not.
very innovative Christmas decorations.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're
The-
rich in holiday cheer.
Well, they are the
Thank
Jolly family, and they make sure that this time of year especially, we're going
But they're
all-
like going hungry at the same time. Like, it's just
Starving to death
It's a
afterwards.
terrible mismanagement of funds.
I'm sorry. I've spent all of our food budget on all the blinking lights. I'm sorry.
We do this every year.
I probably could have skipped the train going around the house, but damn it, it's festive.
The kids say, "Whoa, that's so cool." The two young boys are ecstatic about the new addition to their already well-decorated home. They point up and jump around with excitement.
Point up and jump around.
Yeah, they're looking up at the kite. We're excited
Oh,
about
okay.
it.
Pointing?
Okay.
That's rude.
I was picturing like Elon Musk jumping.
Mom puts her arm around Dad, and they all look up, admiring their awesome new inflatable sailing in the wind. Suddenly, and with tremendous speed, a large golden object flies right through the kite, burning a hole in Santa, destroying their display.
Oh no!
Somebody on blocks got a gun.
This is the neighbor that's very furious.
Shot it down.
Just flew a drone through it.
Yep, just right through the Santa kite and just destroys it. So Dad turns around shocked. He says, "What the?" And the scene fades to black.
PG.
Yes,
It's a what
PG.
the? He cuts it
What
off.
the?
That's. Oh, I miss
What
it.
in the Sam H.E. double hockey sticks, and then it just goes black.
I'm missing
There's
it.
a Hallmark movie.
No, or it shows a child go, "What the?" And then it cuts to something else, or it shows a bunch of birds fly away. You know.
All right, so they've got their thing destroyed by what I'm assuming to be a cruise missile at this point.
Interesting.
Now hold
theory.
on. We haven't seen the footage, and the footage we have is blurry.
Okay, that's fair. We don't know who to blame yet.
We're gonna listen to the official story to come out.
Any thoughts, Zeebs? What do you think so far?
On what the object is? Is that what we're thinking, or just the overall of the?
Just
Like I said, it's very hard to detach from the Griswolds, but I'm getting there.
Okay.
How many kids? 2 boys.
2 boys.
Okay, 2 boys. The kite's just been destroyed by something from space, or what is this?
It was flying through the air, came out of nowhere, in a golden flash, and just destroyed their kite. So Dad turns around and says, "What the?" And that's all we know about the Jolly family.
Yeah, what in the Sam H? All right,
So the next scene opens up on Christmas Eve. Santa is at the North Pole with his elves, and they're loading up the sleigh and prepping for the annual trip around the world to deliver Christmas cheer and gifts to all the good boys and girls.
Okay,
Is
so
he-
Santa's real in this.
And I have a feeling he's about to get pelted by a golden meteor shower. Don't.
No,
Could
no, I wasn't. No, we're gonna leave it. So
PG.
Santa's real though, correct? And of course.
Yeah,
obviously.
Santa's a real guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Mrs. Claus is real. The North Pole is real.
Okay. So
Obviously.
in the rules of this fantasy universe, Santa is still real.
What are you
Just
doing?
wanted to clarify.
What are you doing?
Santa's at the North Pole with his
You're
elves.
playing with fire.
They're loading up the sleigh.
Yeah.
Mrs. Claus says, "You be safe out there and hurry home." Mrs. Claus
Can
says
the
to
elves
Santa,
have a bunch of like UPS or FedEx vests on,
they're just
loading
like
up like obvious
it's a
product
big
placement?
warehouse there.
Yeah, it's just a huge warehouse. They're sweating. They're like have earbuds in.
No, the elves are happy
Whoa.
with Santa and Mrs. Claus up
Are
at the North
you
Pole.
implying that they're not happy in those trucking warehouses?
They whistle
right.
while they work.
Mrs. Claus says,
No,
"You be
that's
safe
not them.
out there. You hurry home." She says to Santa as he harnesses his reindeer. He
Those are
says, "Ho, ho, ho, of course I will, my dear. I'll see you soon." She kisses him on the cheek, and the elves wave goodbye, and Santa grabs the reins and flies off into the horizon on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty good.
What a moment. You
Yeah.
know, they got a thing on. Let's dwell on that for a second. They worked
Very
for that
cli-
all year.
Very cliche.
all year
know?
for that moment.
So
Good luck, honey. What a beautiful family.
everything's running very smoothly.
Clauses.
It's all very wholesome and a typical night traveling from home to home delivering gifts. Santa's making great time. Is even on track to get back home to sweet, sweet Mrs. Claus.
Oh,
Even
He's earned it.
even a little earlier than usual.
yeah, I bet he is.
At the last stop before returning, he puts the presents under the tree at the
I
house.
bet he
and-
does.
I'm sorry. I couldn't leave that one.
He's at the last stop here, and he puts the presents under the tree, and he looks over at he sees that there's a kid. All right.
I'm sorry. We ruined it. We're sorry.
Start this over again.
No, sorry. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's hear it.
What's on us?
Everything's running very smoothly. It's all very wholesome and a typical night traveling home to delivering gifts. Santa's making great time and is even on track to get back home to sweet, sweet Mrs. Claus.
Hey,
even a little earlier than usual.
I'm sorry.
I'm being good.
At the last stop before returning, he puts the presents under the tree. Santa looks over and sees that there's a kid sleeping on the couch, curled up under a blanket. Santa looks at the family portrait on the wall, and he smiles at the happy family. He straightens the photo frame on the wall and gives it an approving nod.
Oh.
He turns back to go up the chimney.
Wait, where is he right now?
He's at a house delivering
at the
gifts.
house.
Okay, he's delivering gifts. For some reason, I thought he was already back. I was like,
Well,
does he just go around his own chimney?
We wanted him to already be back, but no, there's a whole Christmas to
All
happen.
right. Yeah, he's got to earn it.
Yeah,
We're not just going to skip Christmas in the Christmas movie.
He delivers the presents and sees that the kid was going to be waiting up for him, but he fell asleep on the couch. So he straightens up the family photo on the wall and gives it a nod, like job well done. Turns around to climb back up the chimney.
Okay.
And all of a sudden he hears a creepy, distorted voice recording that says, "Ha ha ha, thank you, Santa. Ha ha ha, thank you, Santa."
Please tell me it's like Saw, but
On repeat.
I was
With
going to say
Santa
Newman
Claus.
in Jurassic Park.
a psycho has kidnapped Santa Claus.
He turns back around, and the child sleeping on the couch was actually a robot, now standing up menacingly. Ha ha ha, thank you, Santa. And a net bursts forth out of the robot's chest, covering the surprised Santa, rendering him trapped in a large red velvet sack. From inside the sack, Santa hears another creepy voice. "Ah, excellent, excellent."
Oh no, we know this guy, don't we?
Santa is taken prisoner and carried off in the net.
First Jack Hardball, now Santa. All right, so Santa's been captured by a cyborg.
All right, so scene 3 opens on...
Look, I just gotta say, I like where we're going here. This is getting interesting. Has Santa been kidnapped before?
I mean, probably.
I mean, it's somewhere, but not in anything popular, right? Not that I can think of.
I mean, he's
been
got
killed
straight up murdered
in the
Santa Claus. Yeah.
Well,
no, he was murdered.
A court might have found him innocent.
There is a liability factor here.
Obviously, he did have to become Santa.
Tim Allen was civilly, definitely guilty of murder.
I think we spent too much time on Santa Claus last year, so I think we're just gonna keep it moving. But
right.
It's up for debate. A jury could have been hung on whether he was responsible for the death, but let's just keep going. But I'm just saying, I don't think he's been. I mean, I want to see where this goes. It's new to me. I don't think this is,
Well, I don't think Santa's been captured by a cyborg, at least that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I can't think of a futuristic Santa being detained movie.
Yeah, like I feel like now that we've mentioned a cyborg in here, like Jean-Claude Van Damme is somehow involved in the project. Not necessarily on camera, but maybe directing.
He consulted.
All right. So Santa's been captured by a cyborg. So that's where we're at.
Well, and another fella with the voice.
Oh yeah, that's weird. They're in a sack together.
No,
yeah, that's what it sounded like. He get caught in a sack, and there's just another guy in there with you going, "Ha ha!"
You're in here too.
Now you're in my sack of doom.
The ha-ha was the robot voice. Then he launched the net at Santa. Santa's the only one trapped in the net. He gets carried off. He's a prisoner now. So
okay. So someone scurried away with Santa.
Yeah.
Excellent. So scene 3 opens on a snow-covered Christmas day. An epic house party is taking place with hundreds of people in attendance in a co-op house on campus at Alpha Beta College in the town of Elemental Park.
Familiar?
There's a rave happening on the 3rd floor. Ganja White Knight is putting on an epic laser light thumping EDM Christmas set.
He's good.
Yeah, I got to say I've been flashbanged here. It's a lot of A lot of exposition I was not prepared for.
Well, it's the same college as the Dartman and Glowboy, is what I'm gathering.
Oh, okay.
It's Alpha Beta College, Elemental Park.
Okay, now I'm getting the reference.
Same universe.
All right.
And that's why the voice, we know this guy. I thought Savage just had one villain voice.
That's what I thought, too.
And that may still be true. However, the joke was factual. We do know this guy.
Okay. Like
I forget his name.
The title of this movie is Dartman and Glowboy Save Christmas.
Oh, okay. So we've got a sequel. Is this our first sequel?
It's the first sequel.
It's the first sequel.
Well,
Okay.
is it even a sequel?
Well,
Would this be a...
they've got their powers. Like the origin of the whatever the hell was the last one, right?
It's like a cliche holiday spin-off.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
I mean, it's a
Santa's
sequel.
been kidnapped.
Yeah. Okay.
Dartman and Glowboy, now they're at the college. So how far did Santa get with the present delivery? I'm guessing he didn't reach campus.
And is Jack Hardball involved? And if not, can he be?
We'll just have to see.
Oh, I like it. All right. And if he's not for some reason, I'm shoehorning him into the ending.
So I tried my best to make this story stand alone, but it definitely piggybacks from the Dawn of the Rise of the Origin of Dartman and Glowboy. That's a previous episode.
Yeah, that's the one.
So they're already heroes at this point?
Yes, this takes place after the first.
Okay, and they're still working on those degrees.
Oh, obviously that's hard.
Yeah.
And
They're just
probably dumb.
partying in the co-op house here.
Just still winning those dart bets at frat parties.
So there's an epic party taking place. Ganja White Knight is hosting a rave. Dancing on a table in the middle of a crowded room is Glowboy.
I was going to say he kills it at a rave, I bet.
He's got to.
Glowboy. Come on. He's found his people.
Glowing as a result of a particle splicing experiment years prior.
Thanks for catching us up. I do remember, but I will need context on any references you're making.
Yeah, I will need extensive details.
Leonard Pitts is normally a timid, nerdy outcast. Today, he's flashing green light along with the beat of the music and dazzling the crowd. He's the life of the party. He does a big spin move and ascends with his wings a few feet into the air majestically. Hovering above the crowd, he raises his hands in triumph, and the partygoers all cheer in satisfaction. He's finally found his confidence and is accepted by his peers.
So I'm picturing, like, the guys at like festivals or whatever, and they'll have the gloves with the LED fingertips, and they'll come over. They'll like do this. People will tip them money. They'll like do little dances with their fingers in their face, and like make patterns and stuff. I'm just picturing guys like that walking around at a this DJ event, and then Glowboy walks in, and they're just like, "Fuck!" And they just like put their gloves away and just like get on their bike and ride home.
Glowboy steals the show in this
It's
context.
like it's not even worth wasting my batteries when
Yeah.
Glowboy's around.
He's finally cool.
Yeah, I'm picturing all that too, and like the whatever music going in the background, like that's what I'm.
Yeah,
seeing
but
now.
like a Christmas mix. It's Christmas Day, so it's a
so somebody busted out
So
the jingle bells.
some
yeah,
jingle
it's
bells
like
EDM.
trap jingle bells.
Yeah.
All right. I'm assuming everyone's just like on Molly or something too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Obviously.
people there. They're all. It's a rave. It's fully on,
Bah
and he's
Humbug
finally cool.
Step. They're listening to Bah Humbug Step.
It's pretty good.
So Leonard looks down into the crowd. He sees a cute, nerdy girl looking, who is also glowing. He couldn't believe his eyes. Could there really be a glow girl? She makes eye contact and smiles at Leonard, but before he could get to her to introduce himself, her group of friends who are all leaving usher her out of the room. The rave rages on. Glowboy looks all around the party house and finally runs into the glowing girl again. She's a sweet, nerdy-looking woman with glasses.
Probably in desperate need of a hospital. See
Yeah, I was
what's
saying,
going on.
does she have the similar backstory, or is there a separate glowing accident
can you-
in town?
Can you believe his luck that he's finally found somebody who's actually like similar to him?
Yeah, she's like, I just ate 20 glow sticks.
Well, it turns out your first date is a liability. You'll be spending it all night in the ER. How romantic. Well done, Globe. He's at the ER, and they're just like, so did you eat the glow sticks too? He's like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
This isn't about me.
This
Just
is a
carry on.
separate. Trust me, I know it's confusing. She does need medical assistance, stat. But me, I'm fine. But I do understand the confusion. Right?
Look, just hand me one of the lead vests. I'll wear it.
Are you hiring X-ray techs by chance?
Yeah.
So, he finally catches up with the glowing girl. He says, "Greetings, milady.
Oh, God.
My name's Leonard Pitts." He tips his fedora and does a very fancy formal bow.
Oh, boy. Did he bring his katana?
He studies the blade. She chuckles to herself, which quickly becomes several snorts of geeky laughter. She
Obviously.
She says, "Hi, Leonard." Snorts. "I'm Noreen, but for as long as I can remember, everyone has just called me Glowgirl."
I was gonna say, what's if his Pitts? What's her last name? She's like Noreen Butts or something.
I have a feeling she's got a net somewhere in her cleavage here.
That's funny.
What?
Noreen,
Santa got captured
You
by
think
a net.
you think she caught Santa?
Noreen Butts.
You think
She's in on it.
she was cosplaying as a
Ah.
cyborg?
Yep. I think Glowboy's in for a bad time
He's
here.
calling it.
Oh.
I'm not saying we should trust her, but I don't think she's the cyborg. I think you're way out of line.
Oh, she's in cahoots.
She says, "For as long as I can remember, everyone's just called me Glowgirl." Leonard starts glowing bright green. In response, she glows a bright purple light. This is love at first sight.
It just cuts to like 3 people on acid that are just like, whoa.
It's like
Beautiful.
a couple of peacocks in love, man.
Leonard can't believe his luck. They talk long into the night,
Aurora Borealis, man.
both very smitten and a perfect match for each other. Glowboy has found a Glowgirl.
Pretty good.
Finally.
Yep. So they can have some glow spawn.
Things have turned around for
If
him.
Dartman makes a pass at Glowgirl, I'll never forgive him. Better not.
Make some glow darts.
On the second floor, Master of Disguise and professional cosplayer Cat AF is dressed as Princess Leia. She's chatting it up with all the other hot girls in the kitchen, making treats for the party.
She was the Laura Croft dancing on the ceiling before.
Yes, Laura Croft in the first one.
God, I don't remember any of this. But continue.
You remember?
I don't remember.
Leonard had
any of
made
it.
a hologram where she would dance on his ceiling.
Yeah, I don't even remember my ideas.
So
It's true. You get here half the time, you don't even read your story.
Yeah, that's true.
You just are like, what do you guys got? It's
Cat AF is making treats for the party. She says, "Who all wants a cup of steaming hot cocoa?" Everyone says, I do. A dozen hands raise eagerly. Luke Warmer pops out of nowhere. He says, "Here, let me
This
pass them
guy.
out to everyone."
like, don't let him.
Distributing the piping hot chocolate. But as soon as the partygoers reach out for their drink, he has instantly changed the temperature to only lukewarm.
Dick.
Of course.
Collectively, they're all disappointed. And they say, "Aw," everyone sighs. Let down now with the now tepid chalky drink. Luke is pleased with this. It's another chance for him to use his power as a prank.
Just ruin everybody's. Luke.
On the front porch of the party house, a bro jock, Brock DeChamp, better known as Dartman,
The champ or duh champ?
Brock DeChamp,
Okay. All right. Thank you.
better known as Dartman, is drinking and laughing with his crew. They're all cheering and praising him. "Hey, Dartman, throw a dart at that stop sign across the street," one freshman drunkenly suggests. "Ha ha, that'd be cool." Dartman says, "Nah, I don't think so." And
Everybody just starts booing and gives that
freshman's
guy
like,
a wedgie.
"Oh, come
Throws-
on.
Throws him into the street.
Oh, come on, you can do it." And he's like, "Well, yeah, of course I can do it. You already know I'm going to hit it. It's my special ability is my perfect accuracy with darts. I literally never miss."
This is literally, it's not even my middle name. It's my first name.
My name is Dartman. Of course I'm going to hit it.
Yeah, it's not even hidden anywhere.
It's my first name. And my last name is accents and just is basically an exclamation point for the first name. Dartman.
Collectively, they all cheer, "Dartman, Dartman, Dartman." They're chanting louder and louder. Dartman lets out a sigh, slams the rest of his beer, and takes out his lucky golden case of darts that he'd inherited from his grandfather. He
Ding
squares
him
up
up on
to
a
the
stop sign?
He squares up to the stop sign approximately 30 feet away, An easy shot he'd make every time. He fires a perfect throw, sending a projectile speeding at the exact trajectory towards the target. It's on track to hit dead center as intended, but at the last second, a speeding semi-truck screams through the intersection, air horn blazing.
Is he about to kill this truck driver with a dart?
The dart hits the side of the truck.
He's just going to steal his dart.
It hits the side of the truck and gets stuck.
That's worse.
He drives off.
The truck never even slows down, gone in a flash before he had time to react.
He could have, if he had thought quick enough, he could have popped the tires with his other darts.
That's true. That would have been perfect.
Well, now he's down to only one golden dart left.
Oh, I bet that's going to come clutch later.
The first of which he lost in episode 1 when he was escaping from Dr. Vile's henchmen when he threw it to deflate Balloon Boy.
Oh, it's Dr. Vile. Okay.
Dr.
Balloon
Vile.
Boy, the pufferfish guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's starting to come back.
Now Dartman only has
He's
one
in the
dart
thumbnail,
left.
all right? I couldn't remember the doctor's name.
Dr. Vile.
I even had to make him an AI.
Those are his lucky darts, and now he's lost most of them. Obviously, there was some sentimental value as they were passed down from his family, but more importantly, they are his mojo.
Yeah. What an idiot.
He sees this as a very bad
Threw him
omen,
in a truck, you dumbass.
and it destroys his confidence. And so begins, for the first time in his life, Dartman is in a slump, an unlucky streak, a complete dynamic change, and Glowboy is now the lucky, confident one.
Whoa. That's new to them.
Yes,
So this
in the
is,
first episode, it was the opposite.
Yep.
Dartman's going to be walking in the rain a lot, I bet.
He had all the luck and the
In this
charm,
movie.
and now things are not going well for him.
He's gonna have a really dramatic walk. Like, yeah, you're right. Just
Yeah.
through some rain. He's got to be thinking, like, stopping at some places and like just staring out into nowhere.
Maybe even screaming up at the sky at some point.
Also standing on the porch, there's
Cursing the heavens.
there's two Canadian twin brothers named Hindsight and Afterthought. Both speak up to warn Dartman of the oncoming truck, but as always, a little too late.
Hopefully that wasn't in reference to regretful parents. Like, well, hindsight and afterthought, make sure you always use a condom.
Hindsight says, "Hey, careful there, eh?" Afterthought says, "Oh, I wouldn't have done that."
Yeah, bud.
Oh boy.
Would have done that, bud.
So there probably would be a few more jokes of that throughout the movie, I think. Warning of danger after the fact.
Yeah. You should have watched out for that, buddy.
It was inspired by a friend of mine who gets a kick out of. He will always warn you after the fact, oh, watch your step.
I think
after you trip over.
I do think South Park had a Captain Hindsight,
Yeah.
but it was more like political.
Yeah, something
You know
like
what I
that.
mean? It was
Oh, okay.
bigger picture stuff, but it wasn't just like people getting injured. Where you're like, you can just go over that, right?
Right. So simultaneously, all of the members of the Mutant League of Good Guys, aka the Freak Squad, get a notification on their smartwatches.
I like how it's like the Freak Squad and the Mutant League, they don't exude good guy. So I almost feel like the Mutant League of Good Guys, you might as well just put good guys in parentheses at the end of these names. Like the Freak Squad, good guys.
Good guys.
Just so there's no
They're the good
confusion. They are the good guys.
So all the members of the Freak Squad get a notification on their smartwatch. As each one checks it, they discreetly slip out of the crowd and away from the party. In the basement of the co-op house, there's a secret meeting room. The squad members all take their seats on both sides of a long table. On the wall at the far end of the table, there's a large projection screen. It's a video conference call with Quincy Dents, the mayor of Elemental Park. Leonard insists on bringing Glowgirl into the meeting room, as the new couple are now inseparable. Cat AF is not happy about meeting Glowgirl, and she's skeptical of why she is taking part of the secret meeting.
And that's a professional cosplayer, right?
She's like what'd you
Okay.
say, e-girl was how you described her, I think, in the first,
Yeah.
which I didn't quite
she's
understand. but
internet famous.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, like an influence. So then, so in the first movie, she was out of his league, right? And then at the end, he kind of, won her over or whatever. But I'm thinking that maybe she's always been a little, wouldn't fully commit with him. and then now he was like the man at the raves, and maybe she started coming around, and then now here there's Glowgirl. So that's the conflict, is like, you know, like, hey, you treated me like shit forever, and now you're acting like she's clearly jealous. It's a whole
Right.
You flip the whole thing on its
dynamic
ear here,
shift.
Savage.
Yep.
This is
So Cat
quite the
AF is
turnaround.
not happy
Yeah.
about it. She's skeptical as why Glowgirl is a part of the secret meeting, but the guys are all just impressed that he even got a girl to talk to him and tell Cat to relax and just be happy for Leonard. So the mayor sends him a video call, and he says, "Hello again, Freak Squad. Mayor Dent's here, calling with concerning news. I've just received word from Mrs. Claus at the North Pole. Santa never returned home after making his latest round of deliveries."
So I just got to say, so the mayor is in direct communication with a group of children who've been injured by a device.
These are all adults.
A device
No
on,
one's
well, barely. They're freshmen and
College
whatnot,
kids,
and college kids. They've been irreversibly injured by a device that exists on campus in his town. And instead of, like, we know the guy who made it, he probably got the university paid him or whatever. And the mayor has just now turned this into, like, all right, guys, you got to go rescue
It's
Santa
up to
because
you.
you're the only freaks I know. And it's like, will there be no justice for these kids who just came here for an education?
That's how it goes.
that's just how it goes.
They say,
Welcome to the real world, idiot.
Santa's disappeared. He didn't make it back home last night. Cat AF gasps and covers her mouth in surprise. Dartman hammers his fists on the table in frustration, spilling several people's drinks.
Dick.
Leonard is not paying attention. He's distractedly whispering to Glowgirl, and her snorting laughter keeps interrupting the meeting. So he's just like
pretty
tuned
good.
out. He's not even interested.
And I'm sure Cat AF hates it.
Yes.
Every time she hears the laugh, she's like, on her
Oh,
laugh.
God. This bitch. So the mayor says the GPS locator in the sleigh has pinpointed its last known location at a house on K Street in South Elemental Park. Can I count on your crew to quickly and discreetly find Santa and bring him home safe? Can you imagine the panic and outcry if the public found out Santa has gone missing? I'd be willing to bet that evil Dr. Vile has something to do with this. Please, freaks, rescue our dear Santa. He's more than just a man. He is a symbol of hope and goodwill. It's up to you to save Christmas.
Yeah, say it's already Christmas Day, though, right?
Yes.
Because there should be a big outcry of, people didn't get their presents. You know,
He made some deliveries, but yeah, I think they're
the
just
kids
kind of
crying all over the
figuring
world.
it out.
Like headlines like this year's naughty list grows exponentially.
Yeah, what happened this
right.
year? That's why they're like the crime rates.
Inflation.
The crime rates are roughly the same. The naughty list is out of this world, and it seems to be geographical. The East Coast, they were all pretty good, on par. West Coast, not a single present.
So the mutants all frantically talk amongst themselves in the meeting room. An old British chap named Circumference draws on a large whiteboard a
We know
perfect
Circumference.
circle.
I like that one.
Perfect circle map of the Earth, marking an X on the North Pole and another on Elemental Park. Thank you,
for
Circumference.
identifying where the North Pole and where we are at.
Thank you, Circumference. You can leave now.
Yeah, well, you don't really need like a "you are here" on a globe. Like usually you're like, yeah, I pretty much knew
They
that.
flew this guy in for this.
Yeah, they called him specially.
He showed up. You're like, all right, that's where they are.
I say,
this is where we
Thank
are.
you. Your
Here's
job
you,
is done.
here's
You
the
can
North
leave
Pole.
now. He
All
says,
right, thank you.
"Oh, well, I was very excited to get your call. I was rather hoping to stay. Are you sure you don't need any pie charts?" And they all say, "No, we're good." And he says, "Well, I also do Venn diagrams." "That will be all, Professor. Thank you."
Fuck off, dude.
Can they have a big Christmas get together at the end where he brings like a pie, like to pass, and it's a pie chart joke?
Sir,
I like it.
All right, I don't even like it.
No, I see them like going to cut it, and he's like,
you always trying to think
Let
of
me get
what
my
else.
protractor.
Perfect circle. Yeah, you could just do it. A compass does that.
So he basically showed up and he said, all right, you're looking for Santa. Here's where we are. He's not here. And here's the North Pole where he normally would be. He's not there. So we have all the rest of this to search.
Yeah, he marks
It's
the
pretty
North
much
Pole.
What he did, he really narrowed it down for them.
Marks the North Pole, and he
Yeah.
marks where Santa's sleigh is last located.
Here's two
in
places
Elemental Park.
Two places he isn't. And here's a globe.
So they're like, no, we don't need anything else. That'll be all. So he gives a harumph and begrudgingly begins to walk out of the room as slowly and as drawn out as he could, hoping the group would change their minds.
And he's so distraught they found him hours later just walking in a circle.
They all wait silently for him to leave. It's very awkward and kind of sad. It's obvious how badly he wanted to be a part and play a larger role in the crew. Even as they close the door on him,
we just don't really have a use for
he
you. I'm
looks
sorry.
longingly through the window.
We said
at the
good day.
others. That will be all,
Look,
Professor.
we were being nice. We called you in to do the globe thing. To be honest, it was pretty useless.
Right.
But we called you anyways. We paid for the Uber. And now you're here saying you're upset we're not doing more. We didn't even need you for this. We were being nice. All right?
So they
like,
finally close him
well.
out of the door.
My word.
My heavens.
The gang hatches a plan to investigate the house at the sleigh's last known location. Satisfied, they all go to leave the meeting room, but realize that it was Deadbolt was the last one to touch the door, trapping them all locked
Oh,
inside.
God.
Uh-oh.
Because Deadbolt's special
So
power
is he just a skeleton in there?
that he can lock any lock, but can't unlock it.
Well, last I remember, he locked himself in a room. Right?
He's still alive.
Oh, okay. I thought
we got out.
I thought he was going to be like the Han Solo in Kryptonite
Gotcha.
of this series that you're putting together, where they're like,
Just walk by his room. He's like,
Yeah.
hello?
"There's only one person who could do this, and that's you don't mean." And it's like Deadbolt, and it just like shows a hallway of like a door of like you can just hear him pounding on it still. Hello, can anyone hear me? But no, that would be, I don't know. So he's on the loose.
That's just the end of the scene. He's part of the good guys crew now. The freak
So
squad.
I thought his power was that he would lock a lock that would never open again.
No, he
yeah,
just
he
can't
just
do
breaks every lock that he touches.
I think he's still in that room. I think he's still in that room, Savage.
So as
The comic book nerds are going to be arguing on the forums about this forever.
bring it on,
it.
nerds.
It's changing the canon.
Well,
I don't know if I like it.
They don't like when you do that.
Not a big
So-
fan.
Good luck to you. You might not want to look at your social media. For
Someone
a while.
finally got him out of that locked room. He's okay.
Somebody. Okay. A new hero.
As the freak squad arrives on the scene at the house, Dartman recognizes the family in the photos. It's the Jolly family.
Oh, I forgot about them.
Their father, Max, is a Pee Wee football coach. His wife, Holly, and his two sons, Peter and Bobby Jolly, they were always big fans of Brock and looked up to him even before he became Dartman. This was their house, and this was their photo on the wall. All of the family members and Santa were all missing, but there were signs that the Vile Corp henchmen had been there. The place looked as though there had been some kind of struggle. The color burnt sienna has been on many things throughout the house. Clearly a sign that burnt sienna had been there at some point. Do you remember that one?
Bert Sienna?
His name
Bert
is Bert.
Sienna. I do
Oh,
remember
man.
this.
So he just like has like a trail of items that he touched as he like was walking.
So
through
that's
the
right.
house.
You end up in a room and you realize that the decor is predominantly burnt sienna, and you go, "Dear God!" And you realize it's too late. You hear, "That's right," and he comes out of like a wardrobe or something. Like I don't know.
Yep, no one's in the house
Steps
though.
out of the bathroom.
It's too
He's
late.
definitely been
yes,
there.
also with burnt sienna paneling.
In the middle of the kitchen table, a yak back laid next to a plate of half-eaten cookies.
Wait, what?
A yak back? Do you remember those?
You don't remember a yak back
No, I don't.
from the 90s?
No.
It was like a, talk boy, a miniature talk boy. You could record yourself for
It's
a
like
few
a
seconds.
handheld
Oh,
recorder.
see, I had the talk boy.
Change the pitch. I think some of them had like fart noises.
Yeah, sorry.
like that.
I had the talk boy.
Well, don't act like I didn't have a yak back and a talk boy.
I mean, I know it was a big deal. I had a talk boy. I'm
Yak
sorry.
backs were like a keychain. It was like a small. I think I had 2 different yak backs at some point.
Yeah, I don't remember the yak back.
I had a stack of yak backs.
It was a recording toy. It just recorded and played back, and that was the whole.
Yeah, well, I had a whole stack of yak back, Jack.
Yeah.
So
Sounded like somebody could have used another talk boy.
The message on the yak back, it says,
for on the go.
from Dr. Vile,
Yak
it
back
says,
was for on the go.
Mwahaha. I'm afraid you're too late, my freaky friends. By the time you discover this nostalgic recording device, we will already be on our way to the North Pole.
That's a pretty good line.
Your precious old Saint Nick and his Keebler crew are going to be receiving a permanent makeover.
For the record, this would not all fit on a yak back.
Once we arrive, I plan on doing some remodeling. Bert Sienna chimes in, yes, and the recording ends.
Like, yeah, bitch.
Yes. So,
All right.
as they wander from the house towards the sleigh in the backyard, Dartman shouts, this is bullcrap. He punches a hole in the drywall, injuring his hand. He tries to be macho and stoic, but he's clearly in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Just welling up.
First, he kidnaps an innocent family in order to set up an ambush Santa trap at their house. Now he's got Santa, and he's headed back to the North Pole to do who knows what. That old dork has gone too far this time. They approach the sleigh. The reindeer have been impatiently waiting. Comet says, a walking pufferfish kidnapped the fat man, and a guy with metal arms punched Rudolph in the nose. Dartman says, that sounds like none other than Balloon Boy and Mr. Potato Arms.
Son of a
Dr. Vile's evil henchman. Obviously,
Mr. Potato Arms was a menace, if I recall.
yes,
Just saying.
his arms were removable.
Yeah, can you imagine him unwrapping presents?
You can do several at once.
Or rapping.
Yeah, that's
Could
true.
he get a job at the mall?
Yep,
Yeah.
he punched Rudolph
They
in the
help him
nose. So Dartman says, obviously, it's going to be up to Dartman to save the day like usual. And the reindeer all say, well, how will we ever find out a way to get back without someone to light the way? If only there was someone with the ability to fly and glow in the dark.
Glowgirl.
But somebody punched Rudolph's nose.
The whole crew
So we
realizes
can't. Okay. All right. I know where we're going here. Rudolph has a broken nose. Who's going to guide the sleigh? Obviously, Glowboy and Glowgirl are going to hold hands and fly to romantic music all night.
the whole crew realizes simultaneously that Dartman is wrong, that for once it's only Glowboy that can help in this instance. And Glowboy says, oh, ho, 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 in your face, fart man.
We kind of ho-ho-hoed at him.
Yeah.
Is what I picked up on there.
Glowboy gloats as Glowgirl and Cat AF both chuckle at the insult. Dartman is embarrassed he'd been bested by the scrawny geek. Unbelievable. Glowboy ends up being the one to lead the sleigh back to the North Pole. Cat AF and Dartman, Glowgirl, and Lukewarmer all ride in the sleigh on the long journey north. Cat AF is not happy that Glowgirl is along for the ride. Why is she even here?
Because she glows.
Dartman teases Cat AF. He says, you had your chance with Leonard. Now you're just upset that you're no longer his crush.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're just
That's what
like,
I
yeah,
said.
you're just being catty, you know. Even though
She being catty AF.
she said, even though Cat
Wasn't that
AF was
good.
never
Don't-
really
Don't
interested
give
in
me that
Leonard.
much.
I'm laughing at the bomb.
Oh.
Sorry.
At the North Pole, the reindeer fly back to their stable. They shake off the cold, and a few of the elves are there to help, but they're looking grim. They explain that Dr. Vile and Santa showed up the day before on a rocket-powered sled. Dr. Vile is angry to see that the North Pole is a photorealistic place and that all of its inhabitants are real animals and elves, and not the claymation like from the old movies about Rudolph that you'd see on TV.
You thought Santa and the elves were claymation?
They thought that's what it would be like in real life. So.
That's pretty good.
You're not even stop motion. This is bullshit.
He's so angry, so he's been using a transmogrifying ray to transform the landscape and all of the North Pole creatures into evil claymation versions.
Oh, wow.
All right. No, I like this.
No, this is diabolical. That's creepy. Creepy AF.
The claymation elves have been turned, are now helping to do the bidding of Dr. Vile. Dartman and Cat AF and Lukewarmer all work together with the elves to hatch a plan to get to Dr. Vile's base camp. Leonard is distracted with Glowgirl, and the two have wandered off away from the group.
Of course. Lovebirds.
Yep.
Yep.
When the Freak Squad finally catches up with Dr. Vile.
I'm picturing somebody like, where did they go? And they just see in the distance like they're two different glows colors, and then they both start blinking fast and become
Faster.
no, but they become the same color. Like the two, like if it's blue and yellow, it becomes a green, and now it's just blinking. And somebody sees that in the distance, just goes, gross.
Oh.
Yeah, one just starts blinking really, really fast and then just stops.
No, that's just picturing either way. They just the blinking changes. They're just like gross. It's like in the distance on a hill.
When the Freak Squad finally catches up with Dr. Vile, they find that Leonard has been captured and frozen in a giant block of ice.
Oh, no.
All of the members of the Freak Squad say, wait a minute, Glowgirl was working for Dr. Vile all along
I always knew she was a bitch.
and lured Leonard into a trap.
You did call that.
Glowgirl was a honeypot? Wow, none of us all saw that coming.
I will say, him in a big cube of ice is going to be a big hit at the next rave.
Yeah, that's very true.
Blinking in a big cube of ice, that's pretty... They can make some kind of luge out of him.
They all say, none of us saw this coming. Cat AF says, I did. I saw it coming. I've been warning you, idiots. Dr. Vile says, yes. You see, it was all part of my plan. I created Glowgirl in my lab after our last encounter.
Yeah, it's because sexism.
I knew Glowboy could never resist a female version. Dartman chimes in. He says, wait a minute. That means there must be a busty dart maiden waiting nearby. Dartman exclaims
Where's
eagerly,
mine?
looking around for his counterpart.
I think I found my new online handle. Busty Dart Maiden.
He gets his hopes up. At that moment, flying through the wall like a giant dart, a man in a gold costume, hands forward in an aerodynamic plank pose like an Olympic swimmer. He crashes through one wall and stops sticking out of a pole with a comical boing.
I forgot about this guy.
His hands are buried deep into the wood. He takes a few seconds to pry himself free in a squat position, pressed against the wall. So I figured he would come flying through out of nowhere, get stuck in a pole, and kind of like vibrates. And now he has to like push himself to free himself out of his legs. So
Just falls onto the ground.
it takes
straight
like a
up,
couple
goes
extra seconds of him struggling after he makes his big reveal entrance.
Who's
Dr.
this guy
Vile
again?
says, Dartman, meet your new nemesis,
Powdered toast man.
Mandart.
Mandart. All right.
You really thought of everything, haven't you?
He's made in my laboratory from the golden dart we recovered from Balloon Boy. This new and improved version of you is better in every way.
Oh, what are you going to do about that?
So, Mandart is a super fast flyer with very pointy hands. He shoots through the air like a man-sized dart, but he can't stop or slow himself down, so he has to slam into something to stop himself.
But if he's that fast, won't he go through most things? Like, you know
He
what I
can't speed
mean?
up too much. Cause
Like,
then
I mean,
he'll
your
never slow
house,
down.
you imagine he would do a lot of damage. It's not just sticking in the side.
Yeah, so he destroyed the kite of the Jolly family in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, so just to be a dick or?
Yeah, they,
He's a bad guy.
well, they were kidnapping the family in order to be able to set the trap at the house. So,
They kidnapped the family. I thought he was just being a dick.
yep.
He was.
He didn't need to do that. He just wanted to do it.
So Dartman and Mandart begin to engage in hand-to-hand combat. But for every move that Dartman tries, Mandart has a counter that just seems to be better, faster, stronger. While they're busy battling, Dr. Vile hovers over the top of the chaos with a rocket-powered sleigh. No one can stop me this time, boasts Dr. Vile. A whirring noise begins to grow louder from off in the distance. First, I will finish off transforming the rest of the North Pole into be claymation like those old-timey movies I love so much. I finally win, Dartman and Glowboy. Say goodbye to Christmas as you know it. Now what is that infernal noise? The whirring noise has gotten louder and louder. Bursting through the pine trees It's Jack Hardball riding a snowmobile.
Son of a bitch. We knew it. Riding a snowball.
A snowmobile.
Oh, they said snowball. I was
It's like exponentially getting bigger.
Jack Hardball riding a Jack Snowball.
Jack Hardball is a live-action movie star, like a Chuck Norris, Arnold Schwarzenegger type of buff action hero.
Yes.
Everyone turns and says, "Whoa, Jack Hardball." He's riding the snow
He's just fighting polar bears on his way down.
Riding the snow machine, he launches it off of a ramp into the rocket sleigh. With a big explosion, it knocks Dr. Vile down to the ground. So he comes out of nowhere, he's riding the snowmobile, and he launches it off of a ramp. It blows up the sleigh.
I'm so glad Jack
Like a Michael Bay movie.
You willed it. You willed it, Dad. It's a Christmas miracle.
Jack Hardball lands with a tuck and roll and immediately springs up to begin fighting and kicking claymation ass. He's punching his kicking his way through hordes of evil claymation
Just
elves.
exploding clay with every kick.
He's just like smashing heads together.
Just smushing the clay heads together. It's gory.
Well, Jack Hardball is making easy work of the small clay elves. It's now up to Lukewarmer to finally use his power for good.
So wait a minute. So once they're clay, they're evil?
Yes.
So the ones that haven't been turned yet, they're still good though.
Yes.
Okay. So he is free to just mush all their faces together until they're dead.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
fine here that it's against only the claymation.
And
elves
yes,
that
and
are
it's
evil.
actually not so gory. We might be able to retain our PG rating for family.
Yes, it's like a hand-to-hand fight combat scene.
Just leaving fist holes in people's faces.
Man, I just realized my big head tore a hole in this hat.
Humbug.
Yeah, bah humbug indeed. Sorry, continue.
Jack Hardball is making easy work of the small clay elves, but it's up to Lukewarmer to finally use his power for good.
I picture him just like smashing their heads together, and it's like Play-Doh, and it just shoots up. It's extremely gory.
Yeah. Some of them could fall into those Play-Doh things where you smush it and it comes out like spaghetti. Somebody falls into like something like a Connect 4 game or something and gets smushed through it. This could be a very gory scene.
Yeah. PG-13.
So
Have we
Glowboy
ever
is
seen-
frozen in a block of ice, and what's a power that would finally fix that situation?
I think Lukewarm's going to show up for the one time somebody was happy to see him.
Or Jack Hardball's gonna mix himself a drink, need some ice.
So that's what it should be, is Lukewarm shows up triumphantly. We finally have somebody to free him, and just before he can go touch it, Jack Hardball comes in and just like axe kicks the cube and shatters it in like a huge explosion. And Glowboy is just like, my ears won't stop ringing. Like it's like a devastating move, and Lukewarm's just like, like the one time they were gonna like my power.
I could
And this guy just brute forced it.
I like that.
So Lukewarmer has to melt a block of ice to save Glowboy.
No.
Not anymore, he doesn't.
Yeah, not anymore.
Jack Hardball fights his way over to the cage that Santa is trapped in. He frees Santa, and they both embrace in the cliche buff arm handshake.
He throws Santa at the ice cube and smashes it open.
Jack, you look like shit, said Santa. You sure are an ugly sight for sore eyes. Hardball.
So, wait, Santa's a badass too? So they're just like both light up a cigarette, basically, with Santa's bloodied face.
Yeah, you old
He's like-
bastard.
He's like, Jack, you son of a bitch, you're late. like it's that kind of a.
You're an ugly sight for sore eyes. And Hardball says, looks like you've been eating plenty of cookies, you old bastard.
That's when you realize Santa has a huge snake neck tattoo.
He tosses Santa a fully automatic snowball cannon. Santa chambers around, and the two of them duck out of cover and begin to battle, working together to fight
Remember
off
how to
swarms
use
of
one of these?
claymation elves.
It's like, remember how to use one of these? He's like riding a bike.
Some things you never forget.
Yep, just launching snowballs at claymation elves.
So I never thought Santa was going to be teaming up with Jack Hardball when I woke up this morning.
I know, I'm a huge fan. I'm not gonna lie.
No, yeah, this is clearly your best work. I mean, this is all of our best works.
You've peaked.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
I just remember as kids there was always these like one-off movies like Kiss the band saves Christmas, and it would have like a random people showing up in the middle to save the day or whatever, and just these hokey, very cliche,
the hero, the triumphant moments of like, oh no, we're painted into a corner, there's no way out of this except, and then not if I can stop it, you know, and then
Hardball.
Boom, Jack Hardball,
Glass
Luke Warmer. No, I think it's good. I think the live action versus the claymation is kind of brilliant. just one human man,
one man
destroying.
wrecking crew.
Not only are they made of clay, but they're elves to begin with.
Yeah,
so it's just like
small stature.
it's kind of like the
They don't have as many frames per second either.
like I always thought a joke. It would be funny to have a game show like there's are you smarter than a fifth grader? I was thinking it would be, are you tougher than a fifth grade? would be a good, and that's kind of what we get to see Jack Hardball do. But they're also clay, so you can actually kick their heads off.
Yes, it's fine.
You know,
everything's fine.
yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm well done. I like what you've done here.
Thank you. Dr. Vile is busy changing everything in his sights into claymation, and he's about to transform the whole group of Freak Squad. Just at the last second, finally, Mrs. Claus shouts, "Oh, for crying out loud, Edmund, will you just knock it off already?" And Dr. Vile says, "No, I will not. Not until you come back to me."
No.
Whoa, Mrs. Claus.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And on that, we're going to have to take a short break.
Oh, no.
Cliffhanger.
All right, go on.
And we're back.
Dr. Vile is busy changing everything in sight into claymation and is about to transform the group of the Freak Squad. Just at the last second, Mrs. Claus finally shouts, "Oh, for crying out loud, Edmund, will you just knock it off already?" Dr. Vile says, "No, I will not. Not until you come back to me."
My love.
She says, "That was over 20 years ago. Will you just let it go already? I'm happily married to Chris now."
So, what's the timeline here? You said 20 years ago. So, hasn't Santa been around for a very long time?
You're telling me for the first chunk of my life, Miss Claus was running around with this guy? Santa was just like, what, a bachelor?
Yeah, maybe she was seeing him on the side.
Dr.
Vile's a side piece.
Dr. Vile says, "Please come back to me.
It was a drunken kiss.
I still love you." And she says, "That was over 20 years ago. Will you let it go already? I'm happily married to Chris now."
Chris.
Leonard says, "Wait, Mom?"
What?
She says,
Yeah, this is getting...
What?
Dr. Vile is Leonard's dad.
Wait, we knew that, right?
He was left
Did we already know that?
around age 12. His parents abandoned him. He turned out that Dr. Vile was his father.
And we knew this from the first
from
movie.
the first
Dartman
movie.
and Glowboy.
And
right?
now it turns out that Mrs. Claus used to be married to Dr. Vile, is Leonard's mom, Glowboy's mom.
So
All right.
this is canon?
Yeah. All right, I'm on board.
So, okay. So you're coming into a superhero movie and you say, all right, this is Glowboy. His dad is actually the bad guy. And you say, oh, yeah, I get it. I've seen that before.
But
And
his mom.
His mom, Mrs. or I guess Ms. Claus.
So she wasn't known as Mrs. Claus at that time.
I mean, I can't say it can't be, but that is a holiday canon parent. Like, so for the rest of the year, she's just like just his mom.
Leonard says, "Wait, Mom?" She says, "That's right, dear. I had to divorce your father when he was driven mad with
Wait
his
a minute.
experiment."
Don't tell me Rudolph somehow played a hand in this.
He was the
That's
midwife.
ridiculous.
It's really... That's where the glowing came from.
Mrs. Claus says, "That's right, dear. I had to divorce your father when he was driven mad with his experiments.
I'm actually crying right now.
I ran as far north as I could, and I started a new life with your stepfather, Santa Claus."
That was the midwife. For Glowboy. I'm sorry. I always get emotional around this time of year.
It's natural. It's fine.
Your stepfather is Santa Claus. Now Jack Hardball, who's been continuously fighting in the background, stops and says, "Wait, Tina?"
Mrs. Claus is Tina Hardball?
I thought you were. She says, "I thought you were gone forever when the submarine went missing." Tina Vile Hardball Claus explains that
she was vile first.
Tina Vile.
Poor Tina Hardball.
Claus.
I like that.
Does Santa know about all this?
I like that distinction, though. She was with Dr. Vile first, before Jack Hardball, and then went to Santa. She didn't make it to Santa first.
But Santa's also a badass like Jack Hardball, and they go way back. So there could be some drama here.
they were in the Navy together, I think.
Oh, I love it.
Our submersible was sent off course, and we ended up at the North Pole. We decided to begin a new life, find a way to give back to the good people of the world.
No, I love it.
Keep
No
going.
notes.
Keep going.
No notes. Keep going.
I don't want to leave a single footprint in the snow here. This is all you. Just a fresh blanket for you.
Dr. Vile says, "Oh, I could never compete with Santa Claus and Jack Hardball."
Well, Mrs. Claus knew that. So clearly.
This has all been a ruse to try to get her back.
This is a very there's something about Mary ending.
Yes.
Really
where
is.
everybody
she's a
just
very
comes
desirable
forward.
lady.
Everybody comes forward at the end saying you got to go with me.
Sweet Mrs. Claus.
Yeah. One of the elves throws a snowball at him. I was only using you to get closer to Tina.
Tina Claus.
We know what happened to Tina now.
Oh my god.
Dr. Vile says, "I could never compete with Santa Claus and Jack Hardball. Smokescreen! Distract them!" Dr. Vile shouts. His loyal henchman, Smokescreen, takes a huge drag on his vape. He blows a massive cloud, allowing Dr. Vile and Glowgirl to run away and escape in the thick, fruity fog.
He already had Glowgirl. What does he want Tina Claus for?
This is very well written. This is very good.
Dartman and Mandart have been wrestling with each other.
Just wrestling in the snow.
Winded, Dartman is worn out, and nothing seems to be working against his new nemesis, Mandart.
It's all just very sexually charged.
As they flail about, Dartman's golden dart case falls to the ground. Mandart picks it up and snaps Dartman's last remaining golden dart,
Oh wow.
his source of power and strength.
What an asshole.
Yep.
I've never had such an emotional reaction to a superhero movie before.
Dartman is crushed
Never
to
felt
see
this way.
he's lost his last hope. Mandart laughs at Dartman's pain. At his lowest moment, about to be finished by Mandart, Dartman sees a miracle roll into the view on the horizon. It's the big rig 18-wheeler all the way from Elemental Park, and lo and behold, the golden dart is still sticking out of the side.
So this is like
The truck driver showed up to
yes.
save the day.
in Ernest Goes to Camp. There's the golf cart that just drives off, and it keeps cutting to it the whole movie.
Yes. Yep, it
And then
comes
at the
back
end,
at the
it just comes in and saves the day. I think crashes into the guy, or no, it just stops in front of him, and you're able to jump on it and use it. But either way, it's a similar. Maybe the truck is shown throughout the movie a few times, and then
yes, it's decorated like a holiday truck.
yeah, you see it just
rolls
making
through it.
deliveries or something.
Rolls through Elemental Park, just
Yeah.
pass through the stop sign, gets
Oh,
the dark
man.
stuck in it.
My face hurts.
Rejuvenated and with new hope, Dartman pulls himself back up. He grabs his golden dart and uses it to fend off Mandart, who almost had the best of him. Mandart quickly retreats, flying off to fight another day. The driver of the big rig steps out of the truck. It's Circumference.
Oh, it's just some normal dude. Like, this your fucking Dart?
Circumference.
I've been
fucking
driving in
fender.
circles the entire duration of the film.
Circumference
for
is
this
egg.
moment.
Good day, Santa. Here's that truckload of perfectly circular Christmas wreaths you ordered. Everyone cheers the professor and thanks him for making the trip.
You really have thought of everything. Circumference got into the wreath
He
business.
got a chance to save the day finally.
This is like better than the Star Wars Christmas that everybody hated.
Everything we've done is better than the Star Wars.
Wow,
Christmas.
So.
that's pretty arrogant. But
They couldn't even afford Wookiees from the neck down. Like, come on.
I mean,
No, it's unforgivable.
all right.
Could have just had especially hairy guys, and they just couldn't
see
even
it.
get that.
None of us saw it.
That's true. I didn't.
I
Watch
didn't
it.
see it.
That's true.
We just know about it. It's that bad.
So,
All
escaping on foot, when they felt like he was finally far enough away from danger, Dr. Vile says, "That should be enough distance for us to slow down a bit. Here, hold this transmogrifier, won't you?" and hands it over to Glowgirl.
Sorry, a transmogrifier?
Yes.
What does that do?
It's a ray that changes everything to claymation.
Oh, that's right.
It's like a ray gun that he
Gotcha.
invented.
Okay. Sorry, carry on. I'm just always interested in the science of these kind of
Uh-huh.
movies. You know what I mean? I always just like, how does the science work? You know, it's very important to me when
it's a
watching
transmogrifier.
watching a movie like this. I want to know how it works.
So, Dr. Vile escaped with Glowgirl with the smoke screen, and they ran off on foot, and they finally get far enough away, and Dr. Vile says, "Here, I think, we can slow down a little bit. Here, you hold this," and hands her the transmogrifier.
Wait a minute. So she's running with Dr. Vile. Who is she to Dr. Vile? And don't say his daughter, because I'm going to jump out of my chair if there's a Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia situation.
Dr. Vile says, "We can reconvene back at the lab." He looks back up to see that it's actually Cat AF disguised as Glowgirl.
Ooh.
She points the transmogrifier at him and says, "Time for a dose of your own medicine." She pulls the trigger, and with a loud yell, Dr. Vile is transformed into a claymation version of himself.
No.
And then he ends up on a giant, if you've ever played the board game Grape Escape play set.
No.
You ever played Grape Escape?
No, I have not.
No, I don't know what that is.
They have molds where instead of game pieces, you use clay. You like have molds to make them into little grape guys with feet and faces. And then you're going around a winery. And if you land on the wrong spot and somebody rolls the crank symbol, they turn the crank, which gets all the traps going. And it's the boot that smushes, and it's scissors that cut in half.
Oh, I
This
know
just
what you're
sounds like
talking
a
about.
worse mousetrap.
No, it's a kind of, I would argue, possibly a better mousetrap.
No. Have you played Mousetrap?
Both. I was a huge fan of both. I used to take apart the mousetrap and build my own traps.
You're lying.
Why would I lie about that? 100%.
I don't believe
I'll
you.
call my dad right now.
Sounds like an embarrassing
I'll
thing to
call
make
my
up.
dad right
so.
now.
I don't believe you.
It's pretty embarrassing when you make it up or it's true,
No,
to
just
be honest with
mousetrap.
you. So why would I even want to associate myself with something like that? Make my own traps? I did. You put them in different orders. There's a guy, remember the diving guy? You probably don't even remember the diving guy.
No, I really don't.
Yeah, he jumped off and
Yeah.
then he landed in the
He was green.
bowl.
So you can go fuck yourself, all right? Merry Christmas.
That initiated my love for Rube Goldberg machines, I think.
Those are
See,
good.
Pee-wee's Breakfast Machine did that for me.
Yep, me too. That one got me.
Yeah. Well, this is way off the rails.
So-
Where are we at with the...
Well, Cat AF has outsmarted Dr. Vile. He got a taste of his own medicine. He's been transformed into claymation. Santa has been saved.
So he's
And
just living as a claymation person?
No,
That's-
she's just like jingle, 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 and like knocks him off the sleigh, and he just like splats. It takes years for Smokescreen to like peel him off the,
Yeah, I
off
think
the
it
ice.
If the movie ends with him just living as a
He's a
claymation
claymation
person.
version of himself.
And he has to like make sure to not dry out and stuff.
So he's like in a very humid environment.
He sleeps in a humidor. That's what it is. He owns a cigar shop, so at night he can go into the cigar room and sleep in there. It just puffs in mist every once in a while. Oh man!
Freak Squad has banded together to save Christmas. Dr. Vile's plans have been thwarted, and Santa helps the gang to get the kidnapped Jolly family back safely to their home. It's a perfect, tidy ending for Dartman and Glowboy Saves Christmas.
And so Santa and Jack Hardball are cool. Santa already knew everything, right? They were married.
I think Jack Hardball is probably
Jack
getting one
Hardball
last,
got surprised there to see Tina again. He thought he was never going to see her again.
He's probably taking one last swing and that hardball. Probably. No, all right, fair enough.
I got nothing for that.
Santa's gonna be gone Christmas Eve night. I want to see Jack Hardball's truck parked at the workshop.
Parking the sub.
Submersible. Well, all right. This is quite the holiday special.
That was excellent.
I was very happy to see these characters again.
That was you had thought of many angles. I feel like you found purpose for a lot of these characters better than in the first movie.
Yeah.
I feel like this was a fresh. You've rejuvenated the Dartman and Glowboy series, the franchise.
Yep.
It was initiating a lot of the characters in the first movie, and now like how can we set up like the single scenario that their power might become useful.
Yep. I love that we went from the dawn of the origin story just straight to the Christmas special. Skipped the real movie right in between.
This was good. I remember on the first one you hear my rant how I hate superhero movies. You got me. I'm about to go watch the entire Marvel universe after this. Be like, maybe am I wrong?
You are.
I'm not wrong.
You are.
I'm not. This was better than that.
I mean, I'm not arguing that.
This was better than that.
Yeah,
I have a hard time believing that I'm ever wrong. So
it's like Dartman, Glowboy right. Christmas special, Marvel Universe origin, like in that.
I knew for the sequel that I wanted the dynamic of Dartman and Glowboy to switch, and so he was like the bro jock who was always popular, Dartman. And so for this one, he had to be like down on his luck. Nothing worked out for him. And totally flip-flop with Glowboy, who was like the scrawny loner nerd. And now he's like the popular one and highly revered and gets to save the day.
And Jack Hardball's presumably taking him under his wing.
But also he falls for the trick of the first girl that's willing to talk to him. So with Glowgirl, who was created... after Dr. Vile's
as a honeypot.
Yep.
No, I feel like this was a great fresh take on the Dartman universe while still remaining very true to the original.
Yeah.
It was very well done.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
damn fine writing.
Thank you.
Well, I think we finished this one, or at least for the holidays.
You did.
No?
No, I'm speechless.
Yeah, it was a good one.
This might be my favorite movie ever. Better than Shawshank.
Well, that's not very hard.
Whoa.
Wow. And I'm wrong.
No, I love Shawshank. That's
all
a
right.
great
Okay.
That's a
great.
great.
I was going to say you might have just ruined Christmas, but for yourself.
All right. Play us off.
Right. Check us out on social media, Discord, whatever. It's all on Linktree/WWFT pod. I think that's really all I got to say about that. Thanks for checking it out. Everybody like, comment, subscribe, share it. Sharing would be best, but thank you. And Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah.
You know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well.